Hi everyone. I am here on this beautiful spring day. At least it's a beautiful day where I am. I hope it is where you are too. For all of us in the the northern hemisphere, it is going to be spring soon. It is spring. Really, I'm looking forward to it. And for those of you down under, well, I'm sure fall is a lovely time too. So enjoy wherever you are. So today, what our topic of conversation is self-help. And I think this is a topic that really deserves a little bit of attention when it comes to the stuttering community. Because there's so many other things. You can look at it from so many different perspectives. So where do we have self-help? First of all, there are self-help groups. And there is self-help when it comes to therapy. And there's just self-help when it comes to living your life. So what is the meaning of self-help really? Well, I don't think it just means necessarily getting some fantastic results, and if you didn't get the result that you absolutely want, you haven't been helping yourself. I don't think that's really what it is, because in life, well, I know in my life certainly, there are lots of things that I want to help myself in, and I do take steps, and I do want to be able to do it, but I don't have the direction. I don't know the topic that well. I don't know that area. So, hi Vera Katafi, I was thinking of you today. And Michelle, hi, welcome. So, in any case, there are lots of things in life that we want to help ourselves, and sometimes we just don't know the direction, where to go, what we can do to help ourselves. But that doesn't mean that we're not taking responsibility for ourselves, and that we don't know, and that we're just leaving it up to somebody else to do. Now, on the other hand, when we are in a self-help group, as they call it, there are all different kinds of approaches to a self-help group. Some people go to self-help groups just to meet other people, which is a form of self-help. And some people go and they want to just sort of maybe complain about their problem. And in that case, they're not using a self-help group to its maximum. Now, the same thing is true when we're doing therapy. And I have been doing therapy with people who stutter for over 3 decades. And I've used many, many different frameworks. At first, I was a therapist in public schools. So there, a lot of my students did not practice self-help. They were there because the teacher or the higher-ups, somebody, or maybe I evaluated them and said, you know, they needed some therapy, and they didn't even want to be there, let alone help themselves. So when that's being in therapy and not really being part of self-help. Now, the other hand, there are people who do come to therapy and ask to be in therapy, but they want to put everything onto the clinician, and they say, well, I'm going to therapy, I'm paying my money, spending the hours, it should work. So what do they mean, it should work? That means that they're going to therapy expecting that something is going to happen to them. And that's not what self-help is all about. on the other hand, there are people who have gone to therapy, and there are all different kinds of therapies out there, who really took initiative and they really wanted to do something that would help them to perhaps make a change or perhaps live with their stuttering in a way that would make their life better. And they didn't have the guidance that they needed to be able to really do it. And so different people, that perspective of self-help is very important. And to me, it means really being in a mindset where learning is important, where I want to try things out, where I'm willing to make mistakes, where I don't judge myself if I do something in the best way or not the best way. And I think that all of this is really what self-help is all about. Now, I used to do intensive therapy courses too with groups. That's the one thing I kept for many years from Fluency Shaping, was that format. And what I found there were some people who were really self-helpers. They were there, they were doing. When they went to practice, they would really practice. And then there were others who, when the clinician wasn't looking, would just, I don't know, goof off. It was the days before cell phones and all that. But I'm sure if they had had them, they would have been playing some game when they were supposed to be practicing. And they were doing the same therapy, but with two different perspectives. So what I did in later years was I decided that maybe it was better to work individually with people most of the time, or maybe have a combination of working with people individually and some group activities where different people could participate together. So I thought that this would be true because sometimes people do want to help themselves, but they're not in a place emotionally. Maybe their fears are too great. Maybe they're just not sure that this is what they want for themselves. Maybe they are afraid of failure. And in that case, I think maybe a little bit more guidance is needed. But you, all of you out there, whatever level you're at, I think that the most important thing is to know where you are. Are you at a place where you can take self-initiative and really have an open mind to making changes? Or are you at a place where you're really not sure and you would like more intensive guidance to be able to get you to a place to see what you really want and to maybe even learn what you're really capable of? In that case, more of a one-on-one therapy approach is good. And certainly that suits lots of people. But there are many of you out there who really do want to take initiative and really do want to learn, but you need just that little bit of guidance. Well, I've been thinking of all of you, and I have decided to develop some online courses for you so that you, those of you who are ready to do self-help in the sense that you know you want to make a change. It doesn't have to be, I want to be able to, be the best speaker in the world. And believe me, even for people who don't stutter, there is a lot that we have to learn in order to speak in different formats, give presentations. I'm just learning now how to do videos. So there are a lot of different degrees of wanting to get someplace. But I want to be able to explain to all of you who really want to understand stuttering what this is about. And I've decided that online courses would be a fantastic way to help yourself. And first of all, it's so convenient. You can just do it at your own time, in your own place. You can play around with things without having somebody hovering over you. And yet, you can have all of the expert advice from people who really have been in the field of stuttering for a long time. So I think an online course will be really wonderful. The first course is going to be starting next week, and anybody who has signed up or written their email will get a notification when it's ready. The course will be in 4 different segments, and I'll be telling you a lot about stuttering. And then for those of you who are really interested in taking it a step further, I'm thinking of doing something even more intensive. But that's in the future a little bit. So for now, I think that the best thing is to kind of decide, do I want to learn more about stuttering, or just be open to a different perspective? Because my perspective is kind of different than what's out there in the mainstream. So how about if you're a person who wants to do some self-help, how about giving me a thumbs up right now and just let me know that you are a person who is interested in learning more and in seeing how you can take the knowledge that you can gain and help yourself to make some changes, to decide what changes you want to make, where you want to go, and to take honest steps for getting there. Now, one thing I didn't say, and I think it's really important, and I cannot close this Facebook Live without making it really clear that if a person isn't ready for self-help, or if a person that they should feel guilty in any way, I really hope that we can all take a sense of guilt away from stuttering therapy. And I know there's so much of it going around when people have maybe participated in therapy and things didn't go the way they wanted them to go. And so people think, well, if Barbara's talking about self-help, then if I didn't get where I want, should I feel guilty about it? Absolutely not. There is no place for guilt, because it's the truth of the matter is this thing called stuttering, stammering, for my British friends, it is something that has perplexed people for so long, and they haven't really, as much self-help as they took and as much as they wanted to do what their clinician told them to do, or what seemed logical, what their parents maybe suggested that they do, it just didn't work. And so if you have been in self-help before and you haven't gotten out of it what you wanted, please don't take the guilt. Don't take guilt, and also I wouldn't put blame, not on yourself or not on anybody, because people have been trying to figure this thing, stuttering, for a long time, and both clinicians and clients have really been wanting to figure it out. And it's kind of a confusing thing to figure out. But if you really do want to help yourself, there is a way. And I am so pleased, really thankful, that I don't know how, I think the word is serendipity, I don't know, but I did find something that works. I hate to say that, but it really, really does. And when you do it, and when you take self-help and you go with it, the results are amazing. Really, truly amazing. And everyone, all of you, can do it. So, this is what I leave you with today. And if you're interested, I hope that you will click on the link and sign up so that you can learn more about stuttering. And is there any questions out there? Does anybody? First of all, Michelle and Cyan Rose, David Edwards Henry, David, okay, Honey, Evan Sherman. Thanks, all of you. So glad to have you here. And I hope to see you in the course that is coming out next week, the 10 surprises you need to know about stuttering. And we will talk much more about what stuttering. Oh, I didn't tell you the best part of it. It's free. Did I? I didn't have to mention that, did I? It is free. So it is what I am putting this out free because the perspective of stuttering is really important for everybody to know, and no matter where you are in the world, no matter who you are, I want you to have access to the perspective that has helped me and my clients, and I wanted to be able to help you too. So, thanks for joining. Oh, Terry, hi there. Hope everything is great in Milford. Okay, see you all. Bye-bye for now.